Hi guys, so I've had a request to do a leopard gecko breeding video, so I'm going to show you what I use as lay boxes, what I put in them. I have a leopard gecko right now who I'm pretty sure is gravid. She might have, well, I know she's gravid, but she might have laid her eggs already, so we're going to see if she still has them in her and if I can show that to you guys. Although, keep in mind, the one that I'm going to show you, she's kind of just a show leopard gecko for me. Like, I don't ever really handle her, so she might be kind of crazy, so we're going to see how that goes. See if I can get her to calm down. So this is her. Woo! She's a rainwater. And like I said, I really don't handle her, so she is really nuts. Come on, calm down, sweetheart. Okay. And then come here, sweetie. You're okay. And I'm not grabbing her hard at all. I mean, I'm trying to get a grip on her, but if she wants to go, I am not holding on to her. I'm just trying to get her in place. Come here, sweetheart. So I grab under their chest, and then you bend them up. Don't bend them too far. And as you can see, okay, right here, that is one egg. And right there, right next, on the left of where my pinky is, see there's a little tiny black dot above it, and then there's a little white rim next to it. That is another egg. Now, they also have a few other different white spots in them. If you can see where my thumb is on her vent, about 1 centimeter up, there's another little white spot. That is not an egg, that's just normally there. But, I mean, you can see the two big ones, one right here where my pinky is and the other right there. And you can see that they're pretty fairly large, and they're pretty nice egg size. They are definitely eggs, so she is definitely gravid. And see, I am bending her back only a little bit, just enough to protrude her stomach to see the eggs, because this is the best way. Don't bend them too far, because you will hurt their back. And it is best to do this on a leopard gecko who is calm. She has calmed down, but normally she is very crazy. So we're going to put her back. And then, okay. So these are what I normally use as hide boxes. Let's see, who makes these? Okay, they're made by a brand called Aero, A-E-R-O. They're just Tupperwares that my mom got at the store. They probably measure around 8 inches by 4 or 5 inches by like 3 inches tall. I really love the top because the top is like very rubbery, and they're also perfect size for even a few leopard geckos to fit in there. I've had 2 at a time in there fairly comfortably. I cut a hole that's about 2 inches in diameter. That's plenty of space for them to get in and out. And then I fill mine with moss, just moss from a garden. This works well, I just have to mist it every few days. And then yeah, they just go in there and they lay their eggs. Sometimes they just chill in there for fun. So that's what I use as a lay box. Right now I have 2 in there, as you can see. And I just put them side by side. I have the heat kind of right next to them, so that's also why I have to mist them more often, because they dry out. Okay, now for those of you who do want to breed leopard geckos, I would definitely recommend not having just a pair, one male versus one female. I would recommend having at least 2 females, possibly up to 5. That would probably be the most I'd have with one female, with one male, sorry. Because if you only have one male and one female, the male's going to be breeding with that one female all the time, and she's going to get really stressed out and really worn out. So that's, and yeah, so after they breed, if they do breed successfully, and if the male is fertile, it takes around 3 weeks for the leopard geckos to develop the eggs and then lay them. And then, there's Nub. But yeah, I think it's, you're supposed to incubate the eggs at 87 to around 90 degrees. The lower the temperature, around 87, you're going to get temperature sexed females. And temperature sexed means that they're not necessarily definitely going to be females, but with leopard geckos, if you keep the temperature on the incubation completely constant and at around 87 degrees, you will most likely get all females. If you keep it around 89 degrees when you're incubating them, you will get a mix of male and female, and if you keep it around 90 to 92 degrees, you'll most likely get males. Another problem is that if you temperature sex for female but it's too high, like say it's 90 degrees and you end up getting a female, it's most likely that that female is going to be what they call a hot female, and they don't normally breed. We have a hot female in here. It's Jim. It's my boyfriend's leopard gecko, and yes, Jim is a girl. And she is a hot female. We have put her with a male a few times, and normally they get along as long as he's not trying to breed with her. But when he starts trying to breed with her, she freaks out and she fights with him. So if you have a leopard gecko, if you have a female leopard gecko that you have with a male and they are constantly fighting whenever they try to breed, I would definitely separate them. I would not keep them together, because you are going to end up with injuries, possibly broken bones, loss of tails. You might end up looking like, although she was a rescue, so I have no idea what happened to her tail. I would recommend getting an incubator, like a Hovabator. They're only about $40. It's not that expensive, and you can maintain your temperatures better than that. What I have done in the past that has worked successfully for me is a shoebox tub like this. This is made by Iris. These are really good tubs to make baby racks out of too, because they are completely flat at the bottom. You can get these at Bed Bath & Beyond for only $2. I've used these as an incubator where I put about an inch of water in the bottom. I would make it warm water too, first off. So you pour water in there, smaller Tupperware, like this, and I filled this with vermiculite that has the right amount of water and vermiculite in it, and then you put that in the middle. So you have water, and then you have vermiculite in here, and then you put the eggs in there, and then you put the top on. Well, you make sure it's moist enough. You're gonna have to look up the humidity that it should be at, because I don't know it off the top of my head and I don't want to give you a wrong number. And then what I normally do is I have some sort of lamp. You could probably also use heat tape, but you should set up your incubator, you know, before you get the eggs so that you have the temperature remaining constant. I've just used a lamp before, and I had a humidity and thermometer gauge inside this tub, and I had the lamp over it. I had it on all the time, and I had it at the right temperature, and that is how I've hatched out leopard geckos before. However, I have been having a problem recently. I've been trying to breed some of mine, like the one who's pregnant right now. She was bred to one of our male leopard geckos. We only have one right now, and his name is Freddie. And I've tried to breed females to him before, and none of the eggs have ever, like, come to term. They'll always lay them, and they look fine. And when I candle them, they don't look like they have veins in them, so I'm pretty sure Freddie is not fertile. So a friend of mine has another really, really pretty male leopard gecko that I'm possibly going to try to use after I raise these girls back up to a healthy breeding weight. So we're going to see. So also, female leopard geckos, as you probably know, they only lay 1 to 2 eggs. I've had both 1 and 2 eggs from leopard geckos, so you can get only 1. But then they will also continue to produce eggs. Normally, what I've seen is they will produce 3 sets of eggs, or 3, you know, sets of 1 egg or whatever. So after they breed the male, they take 3 weeks, and then they lay the eggs, and then they take 3 weeks again to develop more eggs, and they lay those eggs, and then they take 3 weeks again, develop more eggs, and lay those eggs. And that's normally the amount that I've seen them lay them, so they can lay them without even having to be with the male after they've bred with him once. But 3 is the normal amount that I've had them continuously lay eggs for. Some will do it less, some will only breed once, but some won't. So that's basically my quick guide to breeding the leopard geckos. If you guys have any other questions for me or something that I didn't cover, you know, feel free to leave me a comment and let me know, and I'll try to answer your question, or I will put you in a direction to answer the question. The babies normally hatch at around 56 days. I know it can go longer. I'm pretty sure all 3 times mine were around 56 days in the incubator until they hatched. I had a video of one of my baby leopard geckos hatching, but it was on my old computer and my computer was stolen, so I don't have that video anymore, sadly. Otherwise I would definitely put it up here. So yeah, maybe if this female lays eggs and I can actually incubate them correctly, and maybe we'll prove Freddie is fertile. So yeah, that's that. Those are my leopard geckos and how to breed them, and like I said, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to let me know and I'll try to answer them. Okay, bye guys.